chemicals, all that. Yeah.
All that stuff. Do you reckon, like sleight of hand kind of originated from pickpocketing, theft?
I'm not too sure actually, but there is a category called pickpocketing in magic. Yeah, like it's a routine where a magician will bring up a volunteer on stage, and then he will actually pickpocket on stage on the spot.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
like
the whole crowd
and stuff like that. No,
go.
we're good. We can fix it. Like the tie and stuff like that.
Yeah, the tie, the belt, the wallet, like the whole crowd will see it, but the guy on stage getting pickpocketed doesn't know because it's all distraction and like.
That's so wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about hypno? I'm gonna get a hypnotherapist on the podcast in the future. Any experience with that? Like
hypnosis?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about hypnosis. I've seen hypnotists, but I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know how it's done. Like, it's probably, I don't know.
Subtle cues. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
To find out.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think, I mean, what's the craziest trick you've ever seen?
Craziest trick?
Yeah. Wildest thing. Like
magic or circus?
Magic. I want to hear magic and then tell me circus. Okay.
Magic, craziest trick I've seen.
Like one that just blew your freaking mind.
Do you know Shin Lim?
No.
Shin Lim, he is a American Asian magician. He won America's Got Talent twice. Like the normal America's Got Talent and the champions, where they get all the winners to compete from past seasons. He won that as well. So he's like the overall champion.
Right.
He is a sleight of hand artist, and he just does cards. He pretty much just uses a deck of cards and a Sharpie and does a whole 7-minute routine. When I first saw him, it was just very mind-blowing because I do a little bit of sleight of hand myself, and I know how it works. And knowing that, seeing his techniques was just like mind-blowing. I was like, wow, how do you do that? Like, is that even possible, you know?
Well, okay, don't even tell me, actually. It'll ruin his act.
Yeah.
What do you get from winning America's Got Talent?
Money?
Yeah.
Fame?
Yeah.
And sometimes a Vegas contract, I think.
Really? Yeah. That'd be huge, actually.
This is the thing with the Got Talent series is weird because like sometimes the winner will get a contract with Sony. I'm like, that's only for singers. Well, when it first started, that was the thing. Like when New Zealand's Got Talent was on, I was asked to do it, right? I was looking through like the terms and conditions and like what the winner gets. Like the winner gets cash prize, but it'll be paid out to you over 15 years. So it's like 10 grand, but like over 15 years. I'm like, well, okay, it's going to take a long time to get it all. And a Sony recording contract. So I was like, okay, that's useless to me. I'm not a singer.
Yeah.
So first couple of years, it was always a singer winning. And then when people found out that, you know, one of the grand prizes was a recording contract, people were like, hey, well, this is all rigged. I'm like, I mean, it's probably all rigged anyways. It's just TV entertainment. So.
Sure. Yeah.
But like they changed it, so it's no more Sony contract. It's cash prize and a Vegas contract.
That's quite common with those like winning things where you win a show. They pay it out like this dog shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Shin Lim, when he won America's Got Talent, he hasn't got his prize yet.
When was that? When did he win?
A couple of years ago. It's probably
like
5 years ago now. Yeah. Well, it's paid over 20 years.
What was his prize?
$1 million or something.
Yeah,
100,000.
Sure
I can't remember. It's a big crazy amount. But like, yeah, he did an interview being like, hey, you know, like it's gonna be paid over 20 years because he was gonna open up a show
with that money.
But he doesn't have it up front, so obviously he can't. But you know, he got picked up by one of the big touring companies anyway, so he started touring around the world.
So he's cool.
Yeah, he's all good, and he's got a Vegas show now. But
do you reckon they do that because this is probably morbid? Are they hoping the person dies and then they don't have to pay the full amount?
Oh.
Or is it because they just don't have the liquid cash on hand? It's probably I wonder if it's a combination of both.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because if it's a cash flow issue, that makes a bit more sense to me. It's still kind of, twisted. I know the whole entertainment industry is kind of messed up anyway, from what I hear. You probably know more than me, actually.
Oh, yeah,
you've been in the game a lot.
Yeah, there's so many stories I could probably tell about, But
do you want to?
Maybe.
Maybe not if you don't want to burn any bridges.
Maybe if the subject comes up. But there's at one point.
Yeah, man. If it does, let me know. But I know like with like Lotto as well.
Oh yeah.
Similar things happen. Like I think you can have a choice actually. It's like, do I get paid out in a massive lump sum or do I get it paid over a long period of time? But 20 years for $100,000, it's just like.
Yeah.
That's like.
I know, right?
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
I know it's all just so screwy. But so you were on New Zealand's Got Talent, right?
No, I never was on it. I've been asked a few times, like both New Zealand and Australia's Got Talent.
And so why didn't you go through with it?
I never liked
the format.
The format or like the competitions, because like you have to. There's like so many restrictions with what you can do, or like, you know, the producers will tell you what to do, and like most of the time I disagree. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not me. Or like, you know, plus like, you know, the performers don't get paid. That's the thing. Like they expected me to cover my own travel and accommodation, and it takes like a whole day or two to record like the 10-minute segment you do, and then it's a popularity contest, you know. You have to be like, hey, you guys vote for me, please. And, you know, so, and anyways, even if people vote, then even if one certain guy gets the most votes, it's not guaranteed he's going to win. It's up to the producers and the casting directors to decide, oh, actually, we want this guy to win because we want him to get the Sony recording contract. And
interesting.
Yeah, I've just heard so many stories, you know, of people being on the shows, being like, hey, you know, like they don't treat us well, and then they just like, you know, cut off. Or like I had a friend that did Australia's Got Talent. She's a aerialist, and then she appeared on, you know, the audition on TV. Boom, made it through, amazing. And then later on in the contract, she got a call being like, hey, so for the semi-final performance, we've got this little story that we want you to tell, and we want you to cry and be emotional and be like, what? And then she was like, well, no, that's not even true. Why would I do that? No, I'm not going to do it. Next day, got a call being like, hey, you've been cut from the show. Bye.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. It's like, so like, you know, people watching the show, they don't know. Like, she's suddenly not on the show. They're like, hey, I thought she made it to the semi-finals. What's going on? And
they don't even see that.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know what's actually happening behind the scenes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I just know, I think so much in the entertainment industry is really based upon what moves tickets, connections, and what moves tickets.
Yeah.
And like what kind of gimmick or thing you can drive the most amount of revenue to. You know, like money from I've only been in this for like 2.5 years, coming on 3.
Oh, yeah.
But I just know like with the bigger stuff, because it's weird, like the bigger you get, like the less community focused things become.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Because I feel like within, from what I can see, it sounds like within your space at least, you know, the magicians and the performers circle's quite tight.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you see when people get bigger and they kind of they move out from that? Does that community involvement fade away? Do they remove themselves from it? Does it?
I think I've seen some people kind of fade away, but I think most people are still kind of involved in the community. Like
they stick in it after they've gone, like, you know.
Yeah,
big.
I mean, like with Facebook and stuff as well, we can still communicate, and you know, they'll still keep up to date with what's happening with the community they were involved in. So
I guess I'm wrong. Gavin Learns.
Ah.
That's the great thing about this. Anytime I'm wrong, I can just say I learned. But yeah, I guess like that's a great thing about like social media. It's become like a great leveler. You know, it's put everybody on a similar field.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess at least with my community, because I'm in the street performer community, circus community, and magic community. I'm not actually that involved in the magic scene because I know a few magician friends, but I'm not like heavily involved in the scene. Like I don't go to like the meetings of all that. But yeah, like especially the street performing and circus community here, New Zealand is very tight as well, or even around the world. But actually, the street performing community around the world is actually quite tight. We all know each other, so
yeah. Is it quite small?
Yeah, compared to other communities, yeah, I guess it is small. Yeah.
Where does circus come into your life?
Circus.
Yeah. Have you ever joined a circus?
Yeah, actually, pretty much. In high school, I started with magic.
What got you in? Yeah, give me your story.
Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. Yeah. So
where'd
pretty much in high school, I got into magic. So I started learning card tricks, and then I'll do tricks like during maths class or something, get told by the teacher.
Sure.
And then actually one of my maths teachers taught me a mathematical trick. I was like, oh, sweet, cool. We don't need to do class today. We're just doing magic tricks. And then I decided to teach myself how to juggle because my sister Lisa, she started juggling a couple months before me. She picked up really quickly. I was like, oh, it must be easy. I'll try. It took me like 6 months to learn. But and then I learned how to juggle. That was my hobby throughout my high school years. And then I'd go to the weekly juggling meetup we had in Auckland. And then a friend of mine who was already a performer, like professional juggler performer, was like, hey, do you want to do a gig? You know, there's an opening for an airline company at this bar. You just need to fire juggle outside for an hour. I was like, sweet, what? Okay, I'll do it. And then I did the gig, and I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe I can get paid for juggling, and started getting gigs. And then when I finished high school, I joined a circus and just traveled around New Zealand. And then after circus work, I decided, well, I was street performing back before I even started professionally performing. So I, basket outside New World or like into the busking competition. And back then, talent competitions were a huge thing. So like, I know I said I don't like talent competitions, but I would enter the local school ones and like the mall ones because I wanted that exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Be like,
would you just dominate them? Hey, if you enjoyed that, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the left-hand side. And to watch other episodes, click one of those squares on the right. If you only want to listen to this and don't have time to watch the full video, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are listened to online. Thanks. Bye.